tons of other people that wanted to not only utilize their services for musicians, but actually help grow a musician's career, not just, be a quick check and capture the virality of an artist, popping off, and taking, the value from that and really extracting it. I just saw so much of that, and I realized I wanted to change that. I'm an engineer. I'm definitely coming at this from a completely different perspective than musicians. So I realized we could do a lot of good, because I could attack avenues that musicians couldn't. And some of my formal training was in project management and a lot of these skills that are very useful for an entrepreneur. So I kind of just for a while had been thinking about starting a startup, starting a brand around my community and what we could bring, and building a platform really for my musician to be able to grow off of. And as I started doing that, I realized there were so many other musicians out there with the same story like my musician, where they were really good at making music, but not as good at all of the other parts that entail being a successful musician, on the entrepreneurship side more than anything. And I kind of just took it away from there. I realized I could help teach a little bit of entrepreneurship skills, as well as I'm a developer in different capacities as well. And just seeing the advent of AI in this blockchain space, being able to essentially let anyone learn these skills that were possible, I realized that these resources just needed to be spread further. And I've been blessed with an amazing family, childhood life. My whole life has been amazing. And my artist, my rapper, he couldn't finish college due to financial constraints. So I realized not only do I want to help musicians with their branding, but I also really wanted to help with financial literacy. And I see all of those things as possible in this Web3 space. So as I just kind of started to share more and more, there were a lot of people around me that saw the vision that I wanted to create. And I think it's a collective vision, really, of bringing the power back to the independents, bringing the margins back to the independents. Telling an independent they don't have to, hire someone for $5,000 to make a website for them. They could do it themselves, and teaching them the tools to do that. And as I did that, I started to create this amazing community around me of music and tech enthusiasts more than anything. So that's kind of how I started diving deeper and deeper into the Web3 space. And now at this point, we've had a ton of different online events. We had our first in person event, it was a concert for NFT NYC. We had 10 musicians all perform. It was our first in person event for our community. So I got to see a bunch of people that we've been talking with over the last year online, in person. And it was just amazing to see that growth, and being able to see the growth in the last year and a half. It's literally been so exponential compared to the 4 years before, where I felt like in the quote unquote Web2 space, people didn't take me seriously because I didn't have experience. I didn't have connections, and I didn't have a lot of that musical prowess that people would just kind of be like, I don't really want to give you this information. Like, I worked
Mm.
hard for it. So why should I just give it to you for free? And I saw the exact opposite with the Web3 space. Everyone wanted to help. It was definitely lucky I joined in at the bottom of the bear. So 2023 February is when I really dove deep into it. And not a lot of individuals were there for taking that, extracting value, because there wasn't a lot of liquidity then, right? There was a lot of people that just were there for
Mhm.
the tech and wanted to see the tech grow. And I joined some really amazing communities as a community member. I realized my first step was doing my due diligence. I didn't want to release anything before knowing what I was talking about, or what I was releasing, or what I was even recommending for musicians, especially with the quote unquote NFT name or space being, I guess in the mainstream media kind of demonized in a sense, into it's just a scam, period. I realized that there was a lot more to NFTs. Yeah, and I could go on and on, but I'm sure you have some questions. So I'll let you take it over. And yeah, no, I just appreciate being here. I've been loving just meeting people, hearing their stories, and hearing how they got to Web3, and then being able to mutually grow, find a win-win-win that we can do as a community for people, and connecting people and collaborating. That got to be my favorite thing. I initially thought that collaboration was me connecting two musicians together so they can make a song. And at some point I realized there's so much more to collaboration than just music and just the creating a song, um, whether it be organizing an event or connecting a musician with a tech platform that could really boost their brand. So yeah, I'm kind of just here in this space to hear what the problems are for musicians and find ways we can solve that with blockchain technology more than anything.
Awesome. Well, yeah, you're definitely coming in great company with Binks had mentioned you guys have a little connect and linking up with his Jose and Felons who we got here. We got Louis in the audience. That's cool. That's dope. You rolled into kind of your niche with a rapper. Louis is the NFT rapper. He's here in the audience. I actually didn't start with, but in the early days, was part of a really cool project called Cipher.media, and we had like this algorithmic beat maker and a platform where you could just generate these beats and then rap over it and then lazy mint it. And we would throw weekly events or like a couple weekly events where we'd throw down these beats and we'd all freestyle and stuff. So definitely, have a big soft spot in my heart for hip hop and rap. Um,
Yeah,
but
Louis is actually part of one of the communities that I joined that literally is so amazing, the community of communities. And they are one of the people that I try to emulate my community after, because once I joined that community, I just felt that love, that worldwide love of just like helping grow the different brands that are out there, especially just like the community of communities is a very non-niche community in the Web3 space because they have pieces from all these different industries, and just seeing the amazingness of what they were building really got me to start thinking about how to emulate that for my brand. So yeah, no, shout out
uh,
Louis. I've seen him all over the place. Love his work. And Binks, yeah, we've chatted a bunch of times in a bunch of different things, and we've been kind of collaborating, ironically enough, through mutual things more than anything than
mhm,
directly. But I think that's the coolest thing in this space is where I threw an event, and Binks had an after party for the event, and I was able to come in and be like, oh, like we were, right next to each other in New York. We didn't happen to see each other, but now we can connect and move forward. And
totally.
that's the coolest thing in this space is just like meeting those random people that could hypothetically bring you to higher highs because they have something that you don't, or they've been working on something that you haven't. I'm 25 years old, so there's a lot of individuals in the space who've been working in their industry for 20 plus years. So just being able
Right.
to be in a space like that where they're sharing their expertise is amazing as a young individual to be like, okay, I made these mistakes. I want to help you not make those same mistakes. And it's just so vastly different that it really drew me in.
Awesome. Yeah. And, just hearing how you sort of came into the space, you were saying how you were hanging out and listening and, doing your research before wanting to jump into the conversation too much or recommend things. That's absolutely the way to roll. I mean, I've onboarded a lot of people and a lot of the advice I gave was like, don't rush into it, just if you're just finding it, just be present, absorb, ask questions, roll around, and then you'll kind of find where you start to migrate into. And I think it's really important. Some things you were pointing out about, with the label and the extraction that we see in Web 2 and also over here as well. But we definitely do better together, and not all musicians are going to have that skill set to kind of represent themselves and promote themselves and be doing the social media or booking a space for a gig. Some can, and I think those people are really well suited to Web3 because if you're going to be, focusing in Web3 and you're a musician, you got to be out there and letting people, getting to people's ears. And so there's definitely a need for like the service that you're providing, helping people that just want to focus on their music. And I think having people like you and working with collaborations in kind of these, communal circles is way healthier a process for the people to learn, and also, collaborate, maybe, do some splits and stuff, to be able to essentially get all the benefits, besides just, them making their music, and be able to, get out there and share. I'm definitely down for, if you want to shout out or shill, a couple of the communities that you've been working with, go right for it.
Yeah, 100%. So community of communities, I couldn't say anything better about them. I've had now my second interview last week. We've had 4 or 5 of my community members or adjacent individuals be interviewed by them. So I literally, the community of communities is definitely number one. A huge other individual in this space that I've been working with is Onaji Brian, from the Onaji community. He and I actually co-host a weekly um, podcast that's right now only on Twitter Spaces. We call it more of a radio show because we were just chatting on the back end a ton and talking about the potential of the technology in the future. And we're both uber nerds, super nerds, so we just geek out on some of this shit. And we realized in some of our conversations that some of this can be really beneficial for musicians, tech enthusiasts, founders, whatever. And we decided that we just start having these conversations publicly and let people come up and share. And now we're about 19 episodes deep. I think the 19th one is next Tuesday. And it's just been a phenomenal opportunity to not only help his brand and his community, but also get a lot of the help, advice, and thought process of what's been going on from their perspective of being in the last bull run, which I haven't been a part of. And just getting a lot of the sometimes I'll see a new platform or see an idea and I'll text it to them and I'll be like, hey, have you seen this done before? Because a lot of my experience has only been in the last year and a half. So there's sometimes where it's great to hear, yeah, like someone else tried this. Here's where you could check out how they were successful or weren't successful. And I think having the individuals not only that have 20 years of experience in music, but also a couple more experienced years than me in the Web3 blockchain space has been phenomenal. And connecting with those, quote unquote OGs, you could say, and seeing how they've seen the space transform and how they've seen onboarding change and me being, coming in with fresh eyes, you could say, and seeing where I see a little bit of some of these lapses in the ability to onboard further. Like I think there's a lot of vernacular that's used in the crypto Web3 space that is only understandable if you've been in it for a while. Whether
Yeah.
that be on chain specifically or the tools that people are making for on chain users. And I realized that I've been blessed with a very extroverted personality, and I've been also blessed with the opportunity to not only create a quote unquote blockchain company, but be able to use what I've been doing before, what I've been building towards, and be able to enhance that with blockchain. And I think that's the key to a lot of these issues in the space where people hear this technology and they're like, okay, cool, where do I start? Where do I make an NFT? And it's like, no, 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 no. An NFT is just a file type like an MP4 or an MP3. It's about how you utilize that technology that really matters. And I think the best way to do that is to have a product, a business, a business model that's already working or that you're already building towards, and upgrade that by utilizing blockchain tech more than making something from blockchain just for the sake of using blockchain. Because I think we've
Absolutely.
seen a lot of these projects that are like, oh, look at this cool thing that I did, and it's like, but you could do it off chain and it wouldn't change anything, right? So I think there's a lot of that where there's I also was blessed to not see the NFT craze of 2021. So I think a lot of individuals who have been in this space see NFTs as like in the art sense of, okay, I'm gonna make a song and I'm gonna release it as an NFT, and I'm gonna completely ignore the 99.999 other percent of people that are on Spotify, because I'm a Web3 musician, quote unquote, right? And it's like that's not a effective way, I feel like, of using the tech. As well as I really do believe that NFTs have now evolved to the point where it's never going to be like it was in 2021. And I see the cool thing I see with NFTs is it's a data aggregation opportunity for musicians. It's the new form of email lists. In the past, the only way to own your the data of your fans was to collect an email list, because if you had a Twitter following and Mr. Elon decides that he doesn't appreciate what you're saying, he can just delete your account, and it's just like,
Hmm.
okay, all that work I've put in is for nothing. So email addresses were that first level of potentially owning your data, but then having the wallet addresses of some of your, quote unquote biggest fans, you could say your super fans, can really lead you to building next level experiences for them, because of the ability to utilize this new technology in a way that's never been possible before and go direct to fan, right? From the artist directly to their fan. And that really can eliminate a lot of those middlemen along the way that do extract value.
Oh
So I
yeah.
really do believe that just I like the POAP concept of NFTs, of kind of soul-bound NFTs that are more like achievement NFTs. It's like I was here. And I think that really has to be the change that we create in this NFT world, where people are kind of like, oh, when are NFTs going to come back? When are NFTs going to come back, like 2021? And it's like we got to use them a little differently, because the tech was so new then that it was all speculative. Everyone was, tossing money on this or that, because they were like, oh, okay, if this artist blows up, like I'm gonna flip this for more money, blah blah blah. And I think that that is a really poor way of going into it, because a, it's not beneficial for the artist. I don't think, and then b, it leaves a lot of that value to be extracted by bots and a lot of these scripts and bigger companies and bigger groups with a lot more capital. So I think if we need to succeed as independents and really grow the opportunity for independence, we need to make the resources that are available at that higher level with a higher capital available to everyone, right? And I think that that's becoming a lot more possible now with AI. I mean, in terms of coding and being a dev, you can use ChatGPT and create a decentralized application if you're really going to put your work, time, and effort into it. You don't have to have that 20 years of coding experience. You can, if you feel like you want to create something and you want to put in the work, you can either find people that can help you, or you can do it yourself. I think that's a lot more possible now with the technology that's out there. And I see Louis up on stage, so I'd love to say hi to him and see what he has to say.
Yeah, I had to bring him up. I think this conversation is, right up his alley too. So, what up, Louis, baby? Meow, 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 meow.
What's up, you freak?
Oh yeah, good audio.
Yeah, dude, I swear I'm just raw dogging it nowadays. Ever since it's worked with you guys a couple weeks back. Um, as always, I always join just listen, and then I always get in the combo. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think an NFT is, to me, it's everything you said with a little bit more. And what Llama's saying in the chat, it really is. To me, it's just resellable data that gives you access to something. Should there be access to something that data gets you, right? Like that's really what it is. It's like that's the one thing that like I think a lot of people are leaving out of the benefit of it. It's like let's not forget it is resellable, um, but it is just data, and it can unlock things. Maybe it can unlock my kid not screaming. Uh, Watch me tell him what I have to.
Nah, yeah, I think we're, we're pretty far past the point of like taking a PFP and flipping it sideways, or just like the speculative, although there's plenty of speculation out there still. It's a very different market. So I think offering something that is different, that the tech enables, something either cool or fun, is huge. And you were talking a little bit, Zal, about like having that kind of those fresh eyes joined up with some OGs, and I think that is like the best combo, because you might, I've seen so many people in projects be like, oh, we're going to do this, and have no idea. They're like, oh, did you not know about this project that did the exact same thing and failed like 18 months ago? And so, I think it's nice the way you're working. I think, you did say, like, so, you started a blockchain company and stuff. What's the name of that company?
Yeah, for sure. So we're working on a lot of different things. It's the Z Talent ecosystem as a whole. We're working on the ZOW right now, which is right now a collective of tech and music enthusiasts with the goal of becoming a DAO. I I started in about February of last year, and in April of last year, I joined a couple of in-person groups in Portland, where I was living, Portland, Oregon. And that really leveled up my game because I joined the Portland PDX DAO, so I got to just experience DAOs a little bit more, see how people were thinking about the opportunity for creating public goods using a DAO, and just getting a lot of those. A lot of the individuals that were there were full time in crypto. They were working for crypto companies, and joining that DAO as well as three or four other DAOs along the way. I realized that I really like the ability of creating some sort of governance structure that is new and really where you can take a lot of the community input and community buy-in and really go forward with that. I do believe one of the coolest things we have about this tech is that traditional companies usually have a customer and a shareholder, and those are two different entities, and they will, in the name of profits and capitalization um, and the capitalistic structure of society, they will always benefit. They will always look towards the shareholders over their customers because I don't know why exactly, but that's just the way it's always rolled, right? And I think that in this Web3 space, we have something new where the customer also becomes a shareholder and it becomes the same stakeholder. And when you can help take advice from that stakeholder, take input from that stakeholder, it makes it a lot. You can go a lot farther with it. I think that in traditional business, a lot of individuals spend a lot of their promotional money outside of their company. So they'll hire a third party marketing agency to help with their marketing. And I think that the next level of that is instead of spending that capital outside of your community, is spending that inside your community for your biggest advocates, the people who see the vision, or the people who have been there at the beginning and want to grow with you, and utilizing that capital and sending it kind of back towards your community really gets you to a next level of promotion where a third party marketing agency, they get their check, they do their work, and then they leave. Versus an individual who's been there putting the time, effort, and energy. If you can give them capital as well, they will, run through a brick wall for you. And I think that is one of the coolest freaking things. And I really just saw a lot of opportunity there. So we've created the ZOW. I spent about 6 months just having weekly meetings. I realized that I joined a group called Optimism Fractal, where they were utilizing fractal governance to forward the Optimism Collective as a whole. And I wanted to utilize some of that technology in what we were doing, but my community wasn't ready for that yet because they wouldn't have been able to just like a click a switch be able to utilize all this tech because a lot of those individuals in the Optimism Fractal community were crypto natives, and I really wanted to target non-native crypto individuals and make this crypto ecosystem usable for individuals without having to learn every little minuscule thing about the blockchain technology side of things before you could utilize it. And what we've now created is we are working on creating this respect token. It's called Z Respect, ZOW Respect. And what that is the soul bound, is a soul bound token that is illiquid. So it is just a token that we give to individuals that come every week and share their contributions, whether that be in the music space or the tech space. And they can essentially come in on Mondays, and we've been having those weekly meetings for 6 months. So they were kind of ready already sharing their contributions. And now, after 6 months, we, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, have started distributing out respect to these individuals. And it didn't change too much other than the fact that at the end of it, they were voting on individuals who they believed were contributing more. And it was easier because we were already in this kind of ecosystem where we were sharing our contributions already. And I think that my biggest two things are community buy-in and transparency. And the two things I see being able to do that is utilizing this technology to hear from my community, hear what they want to do, and potentially put up proposals for ways we can move forward. And if we're attacking something in a direction and the community, wants to switch that direction and change paths, we can hear from our community. And now, okay, like, we are building a product and people don't want it, then let's build a product that people want, or that people are interested in. And I think that is something really cool that we can create. So the whole ecosystem is a Z Talent ecosystem. We're creating Zao Music right now, which right now I'm trying to just really get this governance structure in place. I've had 5, 6, 7 different amazing individuals, community members that have really been a part of moving this vision forward, that I wanted to be able to um, reward for their contributions to what we're building as a community. So there's a couple pieces of that Zao Music, a couple of different ways we're rolling. So we have Zao Fractal meetings now, which started about 3 weeks ago, like I was talking about. And in the beginning of the 6 months, one of the individuals shared an idea for an on-chain music battle. And we, in the span of about a month, whipped that up, and now we've had 6 episodes of Wave Wars, where two musicians come into the battle, basically, and we have 3 rounds, and they get to share 3 of their best songs, share the story behind it, share, where they were in their life, and what it means to them, and bring our community, their network, and the opposing artist network all in a room together to hear more of their music. And another big thing we wanted to utilize was audience participation. So the way we've created it now is that we have 5 judges. 3 of them are hosts. The fourth one is a Twitter poll that anyone can be a part of, and the fifth one is a lucky audience member that gets to come up and be that kind of deciding vote. And the way we've done that is by, for each musician, as soon as we generate the battle, about 2 weeks before, we create super votes, which are just $1 NFTs. And you can buy a super vote for either artist, and this gives you an opportunity to be that deciding judge. And I think that's a really cool way we can utilize the technology of NFTs without being like, hey, buy this NFT for this, and this, right? It's like, oh, come support the artist. This money will go to the artist, as well as give you an opportunity to get some utility out of it. And we just have been rolling with that for the last few months, and it all started from an idea a musician had at the end of one of our meetings. And it's been really cool to see that, where someone can come in, have an idea, and we have the resources to make that idea and manifest that idea into an actual realistic product or event or whatever it may be. So we have a bunch of different things kind of rocking and rolling, but those are kind of the two big things: is the Zao Fractal meetings and Wave Wars.
Nice, dude. That's super awesome. Love the sound of those wave wars. Um, Reminds me a little of a show that ran here in Token Smart for a few years called Art or Die, which were basically like art battles, but with visual pieces. And we used to do we'd have kind of top three usually at our ciphers, or sometimes we'd have little competitions and give rewards and stuff there too. So super cool. And yeah, I mean, I think DAOs are incredible. I think we're still in the super early days of figuring it out. And I think that you're taking absolutely the right approach by kind of slowly incorporating over time into a DAO structure versus trying to just force it, because it really needs to have that kind of natural organic growth, I think, to be a functioning DAO.
1000%. I think the biggest thing in my experience with creating this DAO idea and structure and concept was joining 3 or 4 DAOs and seeing how they didn't work, really, is what it was.
Hmm.
And some of the struggles and some of the challenges with that, and being able to be like, okay, I see this. I ended up taking at least one individual from all of the DAOs that I was a part of, and incorporating them into my community. And instead of taking a failed DAO and just being like, okay, that sucked. It was taking the lessons that we learned from creating that DAO and see how we could potentially apply it to being a successful DAO. And one of the huge things I see on that front is not everything needs to be a decentralized decision. And I think, in
Totally.
fact, that is a challenge that a lot of DAOs get when they scale up, right? Because once you scale to a certain point, interests become misaligned, and
Hmm.
people, want to do whatever they thought the DAO was for them. And I really thought that there was a way that we could create a DAO that is just more on the networking and resources side of things, but also just a potential for not making every decision decentralized, but creating smaller groups of working groups where, 4, 5, 6 individuals could all attack a project or an idea, and they could be a part of a sub DAO, or whatever it may be. And instead of making all of those decisions, quote unquote, community decisions, is taking the community input and taking that and then attacking that and putting a few members that would work really well together, and would work to create that resource, instead of putting everyone and their mom on that, putting
Totally.
people where they have their strengths, and not just everyone, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we've seen that with DAOs.
Yeah, no, it just most DAOs, unfortunately, don't work because of that. There will be differences of vision even under the same kind of vision statement. So yeah, it gets really tricky. I think, yeah, very very interesting, very nice approach to be. And also, you mentioned like onboarding and new people that aren't as familiar, and to try and get those people to jump through all the hoops of like being part of a kind of off the shelf like 2022 DAO or something is incredibly challenging, and probably not gonna be super successful either. So yeah, any way to kind of simplify and give people an access to where their interest lies, or in, yeah, be able to work in a little sub DAO, and really get things done, and then take that wider community input is the way to go.
1000%. And I think we mentioned a little bit earlier, onboarding, and I think that also, um, one of the ways we've tried to change that is our in-person event. That actually Louis had an event on the same day, so I think that's what Binks was saying, that she was at Louis' event. And one of the things we did for our event was we wanted to make it a event not only for the crypto native people, but for the Web2 individuals more that were in that New York area, because we had my musicians based in New York. So when NFT NYC kind of was starting to come to our minds, we were like, well, we got to have something in New York, A, for my musician to perform at, but then B, to get my musician to see some of the Web3 community a little more, and bring some of his other musician friends that didn't know anything about Web3 to just come to an
Perfect.
event. So we marketed it as it's a free music concert. That's it. We didn't talk
Nice.
too much about Web3 in the
Yep.
promotion, but when we were there, we had a bunch of
That's
blockchain
when you spring
posters
it on
around.
them.
Exactly. And not only that, but just the individuals there. We were targeting people in the New York area to come, but then we also had our own NFT Web3 communities that were all coming to NFT NYC, from all over the world, that would come there and just be there, and be vibing out and be able to talk to individuals about their experience. And it would always fall into how that person got into Web3, and why they can
Totally.
utilize the blockchain for them. And we had
And it's
I would say we had half of the musicians that were performing as Web3 artists that had Web3 drops, and then the other half were actually musicians that were in the Web2 space. So we actually got the musicians that performed to really see what it was like to have a Web3 community come out and support them. And I think that was that
awesome.
level up where all of those musicians were like, oh man, how do I get more involved? And that's what I think true onboarding is. It is not stuffing down a product or an idea or a technology down someone's throat. It's see how it why it works, and see why you might want to get involved, not tell this person that this is the true way, because
You,
no one person has, yeah,
dude,
no one person
you
has
can't
the right
convince
solution.
you can't like convince somebody like this is like, like if they don't know about it already, some it's just a bunch of words, right? And it's like, oh yeah, well, I've heard of that, but it's either a scam or a fad or this or that. But if you engross them inside a community event and they're like, damn, this is vibing, and then like someone shows them what they did with like collectible like digiphysical access pad, what, and they're like, whoa, that's cool. And you're like, yeah, and it's like resellable, and you could even maybe, if you have it in the contract or the right platform, get a secondary percentage on those sales. So that's, I feel like that's 100% the best way. Bring Web 2 and Web 3 musicians together for a good event, and you're going to have more onboarding success than any like seminar, or even straight up the NFT NYC conference, or any of that. So yeah, nice work out there doing the good work.
Yeah, thank you. No, I think a big part of what you just said there is not shoving it down. Like you're never going to convince someone with a bunch of jargon that they should use something. And I think one of the cool things a lot of these people realized was the in the traditional music space, to actually earn money, you would do it one of two different ways, whether it's getting money for streams, which was, the payout is negligible almost, or
Mhm.
being on tour and selling all your merch, selling all these things on tour, selling tickets, whatever it may be. And I think we've all seen COVID in 2020 completely change that landscape, because for a year plus, people couldn't go on tour and completely lost out on that revenue stream. So people are trying to find other ways to create revenue. And I think one of the cool things was sharing the fact that some of these musicians, the Web3 native musicians, had music out there and had actually earned money on that music to an infinite degree more than a Spotify stream would have given them. And I think that's always the appeal, right, to a musician, is you can actually make money from this, as opposed to when you have, I think, a million streams is like not even $4,000, if I'm correct, or something like that. So like just seeing a different avenue for making money as an independent musician is always a great sell, but you can't directly do it by saying that. You got to show it. And one of the cool things was we had a bunch of use cases of 3 or 4 or 5 musicians that have been in the space for a couple of years, and had built their communities, had built their fans through utilizing some of these NFTs, and not just the I'm selling this for a ridiculously high amount of money and hoping that someone buys it.
Yeah, Kane Mayfield, a friend, and he has a Friday show here in Token Smart called Public School. He's got a great little rundown, and I don't have all the numbers memorized, but yeah, it's like having 250,000 like loyal fans that like are streaming your music and supporting you through like Web 2 means, versus like 100 super fans that support you through Web3 by purchasing 1 out of 4 drops per year. You basically like come out with about the same of like $100,000 a year. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I think
it's
that saying
possible.
of like Yeah, I think that saying of 1,000 true fans, or even 100 true fans, is way more applicable in the Web3 space, and way more
Yeah,
manageable to make a career out of it. And a lot of these musicians, there's a lot of musicians that are happy not, having that 100,000, 200,000 million fans, and just want to make music and be able to support their career off of that. And I think this really lends very well to that, because you have people that do want to support individuals more than just streaming.
oh
and,
yeah,
and this is a way to really, really be able to not only get that, but then be able to reward that individual for their love of your music. It could be, right. So I think it really is the next level of where we're moving as independent musicians in this space. And yeah, no, I
yeah,
think
and
it's really
getting
cool.
getting true ownership for that true support is also another thing that we didn't even really hit on. That's also, I think, for me, it's important. I've always liked kind of collecting things and stuff, and I
Yeah,
don't
and then also
enjoy like having all my things in the cloud is not. I don't enjoy it if I'm offline and I can't download and look at or show someone that photo or watch the movie because there's a slow connect. Like I used to just, torrent and download to a hard drive and boom, it's right there. So there's other aspects that some maybe out of like depending on your age and nostalgias and different things. But there's a wide spectrum of benefits by adopting Web3 as at least part of your routine, for musicians, for visual artists, for dancers and sculptors, and uh,
yeah, and I
anybody
think
that's
we touched
creative.
on it a little at the beginning too, is like if you're just releasing your music to Spotify, there's only so much data that Spotify will give you about your musicians, about your
Hmm.
fans, right? And I think that also is the other huge thing is when you are working in the Web3 space, you can actually collect more of the data of the individuals that are supporting you, and you don't have to go and guess at who these random people all over the world are, but you can actually interact with them and re-reward them, right? So there's so much on that data aggregation side that I love and I'm super interested in because I think that there's so many opportunities out there that have been missed because an individual doesn't have the data from this company that in the end of the day doesn't benefit from giving you the data at all. So like we as musicians need to kind of grab that data ourselves and be able to utilize some of that, right?
Totally. Absolutely. And yeah, there's so much we can do with those little wallet addresses. It's almost infinite. I think we've only thought of, airdropping something behind the scenes and access to a virtual event or a real event or a burnable or a claimable physical, or a Zoom call or like, but there will be so much more. I think, coming. And I do see that we just got Jose up on stage with us. I know he had some visitors, and I threw him a little hello because I know we're also getting close to an hour, and I want to be respectful for your time, even though we'll probably go a lot longer, like the after party. And of course, you're welcome to stay as long as you please.
Hey guys, how it's going? Do you hear me?
Yeah, good audio. It's going great. Freaking stoked to make the connection was out.
Yeah, and good to see Saul here. Hello to everybody. Happy Monday. I connected with him a few days ago, and I just felt, like inviting him for a Monday so we can like connect. I know you will have a great space with him sharing, and I already knew that Vince was somehow in connection with him because I saw like the followers and stuff. Um, but good to see that Louis was also on the same vibe. It's amazing to see all the connections. Saying hello to Felens too.
Hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend.
Happy
And
Monday.
great to
Felons, you're
hear
super
everything.
muted for me right now. Not sure why.
How's this?
That is clear.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say hello. Great to be here with you, Jose, and great to hear from Zal. Awesome.
Whoop, whoop.
Sounds like a place to get involved. Really would like to.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the joining of forces is a must here. I know Binks is already probably on it. So yeah, wrangle the crew, um, grow more mycelium in a Web3 musical manner, and we make a Z connections.
Yeah, that's have been my mood this week. Saying hello also to the Yama. I see it was a great Monday. It was a great crew. Um, and I have been having that call for connecting with others in the space, and I have been just asking my friends to have a Twitter Spaces along the week to promote the Giveth project, but also promote their project. So I reached out to Frankie Needless, and I think we are going to have a space on Thursday, 11 a.m. EST. He just confirmed me that, but I'm going to be at Vagabond Media tomorrow. I will have some spaces on Spanish on Wednesday. On Friday, I will have other space on Spanish, and I have been just booking with friends and Web3 communities to promote the Giveth project, but it has been super organic and spontaneous. It's like I'm asking that to people that are not used to host a space. It's more like, you know, if if I don't find um, an open space to share it, I think I can do one with any one of you guys, and we can have some energy going over. So I have been doing that, and it can be a cross promotion place, and the response has
Awesome.
been pretty cool.
Amazing. Yes, yeah. If there's like a nice time slot and there's nothing else going, always reach out and we can just fire something up too. So um I know you shared the link in the chat, but do you want to drop again so it's fresh? It's a scroll up or it's a scroll and a half. For the Giveth. Okay, I think that's the right one.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
see.
loving this time. I do have to jump in a couple minutes here, but like, yeah, no, I can't wait to come back and I love this community. I mean, just chatting with Jose, we talked for like 90 minutes earlier this week,
Nice.
last week, and just had
Word.
an amazing conversation. So, love what he's building, what he's doing in every aspect, and I want to get more involved. If you guys have anything you guys want on your level that you guys want to promote, feel free to send it over my way. And I will always share anything with my community that helps grow this Web3 music space, right? I think there's a lot of ways that even just, I think the beauty of the space is that, a like, retweet, and comment is free. And even if you don't
Totally.
have capital to share, you can always do that. So I think that is one of the coolest ways is meeting some of these amazing individuals and sharing what they're building and then potentially creating someone creating some other connections through those mutuals. So yeah.
Yeah, there's so much potential to do. And I see Easy down the stage. Now he's up again. Maybe you were rocked for a moment. I don't know. I still don't hear you. So I think maybe that. Yup. I don't hear you, Easy. Um, I'm just going to take it till you fix it and share about the Giveth. So this week, the Earth Quadratic Funding Round in Giveth started, and maybe you don't hear me, guys.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
no, I think it was me. I got rugged right at the end there. Zal, dude, come back anytime. We do this, been doing this space for like 4 years every Monday or getting close to there as, and it's always been fairly musical. I've worked in various kind of musical projects throughout my blockchain career, more as a music lover than necessarily a musician. Although I do spit some flows sometimes. But yeah, would love to. We'll definitely stay connected. Let's hook up in DMs, or I'll see you in the PDF
1000%.
and stuff.
That just reminded me of my last point, and then I'll jet.
Word.
The Web3 music space has made me a crazy different music lover and art lover because not only can I support independent musicians, but I can actually support them and then talk to them and have a conversation with some individuals and help grow their brand. Jaden Violet is an amazing individual and super innovative creator in the space, has been one of those individuals where I had started to listen to some of his music, really liked it, joined his community, got us some of his NFTs, and was able to actually have him at our event in Zalpalooza and navigate the space as well. So I think the other really cool thing is being able to talk with some of these amazing musicians and get in on that ground floor and see what they're building, and not only see what they're building but help grow that. And I think that that's one of the coolest things. So me as a music lover, it's definitely become a lot more apparent, and I've been able to I don't know. I enjoy the music a lot more when I know about the musician's story, and
Right?
know what the challenges they've been through, and what they're building currently, right?
It's super cool to have that like in that level of intimacy. You can't get that through a frickin' Spotify stream or a YouTube short or a frickin' TikTok or a Vine. I don't care what you're talking about. You ain't gonna find that except over here. Yeah, super special sauce for sure. And yeah, Jaden's awesome. I've had him on a couple times. He came on, yeah, in his early days. So and then yeah, I'm a part of that community and have been to a couple of his events. And yeah, it's and then it's a whole nother level when like you know someone for like a year or two or something through the virtual events, and then you get to see them IRL in like New York or Miami or something and hang out. So yeah, love that you're into the events. I've always been huge fan of bringing the digiphysical together and you know schemes and stuff of making like traveling Web3 music camps that like stop through college town as a lot of wagon for that stuff. Um, but yeah, so look forward to getting to hang out with
Yeah, thanks, guys. I will definitely see you guys on some Mondays. Love it and appreciate the time.
you. Cool. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Well, that was great. Thanks so much, Jose, for
Woo.
helping connect that, and shout out to Mama Binks, of course, best band mom in the world.
Yeah, yeah, it was so great to see the space happening. And if you have no guest for Monday, maybe we can have a guest from Africa. Um, the thing is that it will be um, really late for him, like 2 3 a.m. But uh, I
What?
connected I connected with him today. His name is Benny Arts.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Well, I met him on the
Huh.
Pipes general chat because, as I told you, I have this call to um, arrange a space with people I just met and Twitter
Yeah.
Spaces. I decided to do that for this week.
Nice. Perfect.
Yes, so yeah, I connected with Sal. I'm doing with Frankie, but I'm also doing a space with some people that it's also on the Giveth round. Oh, what's that, Easy? That's amazing.
This is the second level of memology. Remember the coin? Here, hold on.
Memology.
Oh, I think the coin's in the other room. I can go get the coin. But Alexi from Greece,
Uh huh.
who did the coin, well, then
Yes.
I did the next step and I went down to the underworld and my soul was stuck there. And so I had to burn the coin
Mm,
token and then like
mm.
get and burn like this statue token. And I haven't even opened it yet. So
Man, that's
I'm too
amazing.
excited. You'll have to tell us more about the Giveth after, okay? I'm
Of
too
course,
excited.
dude.
Shout out Alexi. Oh wow. Oh, it's another fancy. It's got a wax seal. It's got a gold wax seal.
Mm.
I'm already a little goosebumpy to tell you the truth. See, this is the difference between collecting just a
Yes.
pure digital piece of art, uh,
Mhm.
or a painting, or a statue, or a sculpture, or a CD. Like, look at that. Look at that little froggy, that little frog of fans. Like, I get to break a wax seal. I feel like this is from like the Emperor of China or like the Pope or something right now. So I'm gonna do it. Okay, there we go. We broke his little mouth apart. So now
Ah,
ribbit, ribbit.
ah, so amazing, man.
This might be secretive, so let me take a look here. Oh, it looks so fancy. Wow. Decentralized Aegean Memalism, a story of timeless decentralization and memes. And then it has a picture of the statue. The FAF portrait above is the distinctive digital counterpart of your ceramic statue in the form of an NFT. You can access it by hovering your smartphone
Your
over
camera
the
froze
NFC.
for me.
Oh,
Your, see, I shut it down mine to
my
see.
my internet got a little choppy right at the end there. Should I jump out and come back?
You're
Actually,
smooth.
I'm seeing the chat, and people never saw you, but I was seeing you.
Oh, well, yeah. If people are you seeing me now?
Yes. Now it's
Okay. So, so this portrait image above is the
you
distinctive digital counterpart.
unpack it again. See,
Oh,
you have
unpack
to
it
unpack it
again? No
again.
way. Well, I'll show you what it was like. I'll show you what it was
uh,
like. It had, for people
unpack
that didn't
it
see,
again.
it has this wax seal from the Emperor
uh,
of China that I had to
actually,
break.
right now, right, right, right now it says unstable connection. Easy on your side.
Let me see if I can get to a better spot maybe. It's my
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit my Discord and rejoin it because I noticed my connection getting crappy like right towards the end of the hour. I'll be right back.
That is a very odd coincidence.
Hi, Ferenc.
How's it going, guys?
just so on time, man. And I'm having a hell of a great moment on Token Smart today, just with the flow of things and ready you with a guitar already.
Ooh.
I'm here for you
Okay,
guys.
am I back?
You are. You are actually
Okay,
fine for
so
me, but hey, go.
we have this amazing letter. I get the NFT counterpart, which I can access by hovering over the smartphone over the NFC chip located on the head of the statue. So we'll see that. And then it's got this fancy decentralized studio Aegean minimalism FAF number one folded arm frog, Cycladia, with like a signature and a stamp, and it's 4 of 10. And this card certifies that the enclosed is an authentic hybrid artwork, physical, digital. Oh, nice. I love that he didn't say digital or something. Produced by Alexei66 in Athens, Greece. This edition comprises a series of 10 handcrafted pieces by the artist. Each piece is unique, has been treated by hand within the confines of KRK Studios. It's in white clay, 4x3 by 7 by 13 centimeters, 0.16 kilos, NFC token link, matte velvet blue, 10 editions. There's the contract address written in. Wow, that's some dedication. Very cool, very, very cool base blockchain. So let me just seal up this little nice letter and then do the full unveiling. I'm not going to be like one of those iPhone customers that drops the phone, got a finger on it. So there's the statue. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, I got a little extra Froggle stamp, little token, and it came.
Oh,
It
but
come.
but I think that that is for you to make a seal, right?
Oh, that might be my own seal. And then so it's got the date and Alexei 66 on the bottom. Look at this statue. So this is made, he goes out and gets like the sand and clay in his local area where they would have gathered this type of stuff for thousands of years. He burns wood in a fire to fire each of these separately. They're handcrafted. You hand like carve out and then program the chip and then lay that in. I'm using my phone right now for Discord, so to scan it, I might have to swap over to another device. Do you want to maybe play a song as a interlude, and then I'll see if I can maybe like screen share what the scan shows or something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Take it
Get
away.
yourself set up. Yeah. So I was noodling on this song last week called Crested Butte, saying that this is like one of my favorite chord progressions. Or unfortunately, I couldn't get my reverb set up because it really belongs in this. But Crested Butte. There you go. So
Woo!
that wasn't bad
Nice.
pulling that out of the archive. So
I liked.
Crested Butte.
I have not had any luck with the old Fandangly. So
Bingo.
I don't want to necessarily like quit a bunch of apps and frickin' reset the phone, but that's probably my next step is maybe like a phone restart or something. Because I should, and it says in the card, to hover your phone over it, and that NFC chip is right up here in the top of the apples.
Put it
And
put it a little far, a little more, far more, like for
but
definition more.
oh no, I'm saying if I put
Yeah.
like that close.
What's that? It's like a place to put a coin. I don't
So
know
no,
what it's.
that is the actual NFC chip embedded in it. So if this is sitting on the desk, if that's sitting on the desk, I should be able to put the phone over it and have it open up a website. It'll say, "Oh, do you want to go here?" and like open a link. But it's not doing it right away. So I may need to, I don't know. I'm going to try, I think, a phone restart to see if that might work after the show. And if not, I will contact Alexi and see what he recommends. I'm sure he probably tested the chip a lot of times before he embedded it in that. And then he probably tested it after he embedded it to make sure it wasn't like too deep or anything. And it was probably working. It's probably just my phone is not like doing it right now. Hopefully it'll do it later. But what an awesome next level And there's going to be, we've had Alexi on a few times. There's like, I forget how many levels it is, but there's many more. So I have this statue now, which is going to live here with me. And give me a sec and I'll grab the coin to be able to share and kind of refresh people's memories. Or if you hadn't seen it before, you'll get to see what was the first like burnable, redeemable, physical ceramic with an embedded chip in it from Alexi. And this is part of this like whole journey that started years ago when I first saw his Frogs of Fanus async piece, and I was like, holy cow, that's rad. It's like below mint cost. I'm gonna grab one. And then like found out about his like intense love of, you know, myth and memology. And so the first one came in this little box, and it also, which I was really impressed by, had the little wax seal that I had to break to then open the box. And when you get out of the box, we have this lovely little coin. And I had the whale, little Keck coin. And this, if I put up next to the phone, I think it's right on the back is usually where you scan them. This one has worked before for sure. So yeah, it's not opening up. That would mean,
Discord
sorry.
is blocking you.
Well, I'm taking off the case just in case.
Ah,
I have it on the back. I'm rubbing it around. I have it on the top. I'm rubbing it around. I have it on the front, rubbing it around. No link. So I think it is just my NFC reader on my phone probably just needs a little refresh. I haven't restarted my phone in a long time. So I'll try that and share more through some tweets and stuff. But yeah, so now I have my Keck coin. Actually, I'm going to put the baby, the extra, in
yeah,
with
remind us
that.
what project this is again. Remind us all.
So this is Alexi 66.
Alexi
Um,
66.
let me share his Twitter in the chat here
How do we know him?
because
His,
well, he's been around forever. Do I know him? Was he on Scent? He could have possibly also been on Scent, actually. I know I collected the first piece of his that I got on Async way back in the early days. Let me see if it'll, sometimes Twitter sucks and it won't.
hey, while you're digging around, I wanted to share with everybody that you might notice this gaping hole in the side of my guitar, but it one time was splinters, and I totally routed it out, and it's pretty much finished. I'm gonna do a little shellac on it, but it's an official sound hole now. So it's
Nice.
no longer, yeah. So added.
So when Alexi last came on, and here's the Twitter in the live chat. When Alexi last came on, we did a good, like, you know, one of those long 2-3 hour shows, talking all about like the massive scope, the years and years this project already spans, and it's running years and years into the future. And it's not like some crazy expensive like NFT pieces either. There's this incredibly reasonable for all the crazy like
No, this is
handcrafting he does. Um,
it's
but
so
there,
organic. I just
yeah,
went to his Twitter easy because I just love what you showed, and he has some gift that deserves the share. Let me go grab it for a moment. But I have a friend here that he works with those types of art. I was just showing him like as a tangible example of Web3, you know, because it's so incredible how he was able to align the concepts he dives in about his culture with a meme that is universal, acknowledged.
yeah, yeah. And so this there'll be another journey, and where I may have to like burn the digital representation of this to get the next level of larger sculpture. It ends in like these crazy giant coin like masks, um, that are all this stuff is so handcrafted. He gathers the materials, he, builds the fires and experiments with those materials until like it's, was going to hold up and work well, and does hell of research into it. And like, it's just incredible, the workmanship. It's like, it's interesting because there's like a few smoother spots, like here it's like smooth on the back, but it's also like got definitely like kind of roughs that you can feel. It feels like sandstone or something, in certain areas too. It's very unique.
Yeah, I made a quick dive into his Twitter, and I think like he took those materials from the sea, from some islands he was in. I don't know. It was so beautiful. It's like, he got instant support from me, like directly by just showing how he does that. It's just such a great inspiration, and it's so amazing what you say about like the giant coin and what it means for him as an adventure, and the opportunity he has to have all this craft, and work on his craft with something that is viral, but with something that is how do I say it, classic.
Yeah, yeah, he's bringing this. I mean, it's just very nice. The box has his little stamp in there. Yeah, he's bringing together classical, mythos and handcraft art, in like in the original way, um, authentic like ancient methods. Um, and melding that with not only Web3 technology for blockchain, um, also the whole current culture of memetics. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
we talk for hours, could talk for hours more. I can't wait till he comes back on. Hopefully, he's traveling right now. I got that shipped out. I got my token burned and made my journey back from Hades, and he sent that out just like within days before he was leaving on a trip for like a couple months. So I think he'll probably be back, home for him in about a month or so. And so maybe in like 6 or 8 weeks, I would say. I bet we can get him on, and we'll get to dive maybe into the next phase that I'm sure is already starting to prep and you know work.
That's amazing. And I just remember about Benny again, and he's doing like music and social impact in Africa. I didn't have the time to connect with him yet. I will do it tomorrow, but I think it can be great to have him. Maybe not for next week, maybe for a special time,
Yeah.
as his time zone is
Um,
other.
as long as, yeah, I remember that you said it's like super late for him. I would say, did I show? Yeah, you guys saw this too. So there's a bunch of info on like this.
Oh my god.
This is how it came. Decentralized Aegean Memalism, FAF, which is folded arm
I was
frog.
watching him actually build the box for delivery. There's a cool little video on his feed.
So they're also like
Handmade.
Elbow is one of his holders and supporters, so I think he'll be getting one of these. Um, and the physicals are different too. So mine, there's actually the physical traits listed here. Origin, Cyclades, name, Cycladia, material, white clay, Samot, glaze, unglazed, dimensions 4x3, 0.7 by 13, editions 10, digital counterpart, 3D figure, NFT, AR. Oh, I can't wait to see the AR of this once it scans. Blockchain, Ethereum, L2 base. So like it's just so rad. And it's got this decentralized Aegean memalism 2024 AD, 5000 BC, Ethereum L2 base blockchain. Uh, Awesome. Alexi 66, KRK, Phoenix, Kananas, which I guess was his hometown. Yeah, a story of timeless decentralization, because that's what myth was. It was a way to decentralize not only information, knowledge, but culture and spirituality and religion and um, before there was the written word, or before that was accessible by many. We had figurines and myths. So really feel like we're connecting the roots to the wireless today. Let's talk about the Giveth, because we've now, I think, covered this awesome latest adventure.
Oh my God. Yes, it was an adventure. I just had so much to like share to my friends here about this. Like it's so beautiful. Like because I think always about music, but Alexi is an inspiration about this type of doings. And yeah, I just imagined like uh, saving the distance, of course, but like something like that, but for the Watuha community. And my friend, uh, I was telling this, he just went back from the Amazon today, a few hours ago. That's why I'm here, because he had a long journey and we wanted to share and reconnect. And um, I just think like, you know, he's an artist. He makes a lot of things, and this was just like, it can be such a great inspiration for him. Um, and yeah, about the Giveth.
Dude,
Yeah,
it, oh, just to kind of keep going on that idea, yeah, like if there is a oral mythology that they're comfortable sharing in the form of even a sculpture is tough because you have to ship it. So maybe it would make more sense at least to start with a virtual kind of image. Or I was also thinking, what about a song? What if there was either like a meme song that played when you scanned the statue, or like a really cool like mythical the bands don't do this anymore much, but when they take you on that whole like journey and there's a whole story, with characters and a beginning and a middle and an end, like a real saga sort of song, maybe related to, in this case, it could
yeah,
be,
yeah. I think that
the
I get you.
frog, but
I think that
yeah,
I get you.
so
Yeah, I totally get you. I had in my mind a couple of bands from power metal that does mythical inspirational music where they share
I
stories, and they used to make conceptual albums and songs that maybe they are like 20 minutes long, or they have different songs that are like they are like seasons on a piece. And I think that can be something similar. Actually, we have a friend, Romy. She lived for years with the community, and she has two or three songs that I remember that are amazing and that holds part of the oral tradition of the community. Those are songs that we all super love, like the message they have and the cadence, like the flow of the song. It's so of hers, and it's just so great. I would love to have her playing one of her songs, or because that's just what you said. Like the song that she has is so amazing. It would be wonderful to connect it with the
oh
art
yeah.
of a sculpture already, because that's the song that deserves to be there somehow. It's so beautiful. I would love to share it, but I don't have it recorded, and it's so amazing.
Well,
But
I mean,
I owe you that.
that yeah, that sounds like the perfect like starting would be there, if there's already that awesome song, but even for something in future or more in depth, like even if you're, maybe you're told the story and are able to, get like a handful of musicians together, kind of have like almost that orchestral vibe and like create the whole, song structure for that like myth or story. I mean, that would be incredible.
Yes, that would be incredible, and I think that can be worked on. Um, One of the projects that I see most close is like a collaboration with the community rapper that I told you. I don't know if you remember, but
Oh yeah.
it would be beautiful to have something, if not a collab, something of him. But to onboard him, it will be so amazing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
will that will take time, but yeah. So I'm promoting the Giveth project, guys,
Woo!
and it's a great timing because also the regions on Warpcast, all this movement that actually Saul told me he was on a physical event where there were some DJs on Warpcast talking about turning the vibe region. So it was interesting to see, like how the things started to spark locally about those projects as far as I can see. And now what they are doing is that they are aligned with Giveth. And if you donate on Giveth projects, you will get a boost in the allowance that you can give on their token to others. So I see that if you donate more than $50 among three projects, let's see, like 20 to one, 20 to other, and 10 to other, you will get a super huge boost that can get you in a good position for whatever dynamic they want to do. This is non-financial advice, but I just see, like, for example, with the Galactic Giving round, there was some benefits of donating, but right now with all this Warpcast thing, I think there are going to be more donators for all the projects in general. So check it out. Check out the Giveth project, but check also the Warpcast that I sent you
So
attached to it.
I just put the Giveth University ancestral knowledge at the bottom of the chat. But I think there's also, let me go back up and grab the Warpcast. Yeah, there was two links. Let me grab that one too.
Yeah,
So
that
everybody can
Warpcast.
easily get it right here.
Yeah, that second Warpcast shows you which token you have to use to get the most benefit of the region airdrop if you want to do it. Um, they say like if you donate a couple bucks, you get a multiplier. If you donate more than 10, you get a multiplier. But if you donate more than 10 in the Celo chain with USD Glow, you will get a higher multiplier. And if it's more than $50, it will be the highest multiplier they can give. And I don't know. I
Wait,
don't know if you are
what
working with, yeah,
what was the chain that you said was the highest multiplier?
Celo.
Stellar? I kind of
Celo.
remember that
Celo.
chain, but I'm pretty sure I don't even have that RPC in. Let's see. I will take a look
Me
and
neither.
yeah, Celler, if I remember, is how it's spelled.
Calo. Celo. En
Oh,
español, en inglés, yo creo que se dice
hello.
así.
Oh, okay.
Like it was a
That's
cello, but
yeah, yes. So different one than I was thinking of. I don't remember this one. So I'll have to look for somewhere to add it if I want to get that killer multiplier. But if I put in $50, then do I get the super boost anyways or something?
um, give me a moment. I'm taking
Ooh,
the picture so you don't have to go to the link. Um, but check
I
it out.
I see on my computer, I'm at the page, giveth.io project Watua University of Ancestral
Oh,
Knowledge. There's a donate I'm going to put a heart first of all. Oops, that was my heart. I'm the one heart. Somebody else heart it. I see a boost
Oh,
also. Get
thank you.
rewarded with up to 50% of your donation value. Well, hold on. Let me see. I'm going to hit the boost button and see. You don't have any gift
If you,
power. Darn.
yeah, you have to have give power, so that if you donated in the previous galactic round that you did easy, you will get um, around at least $70, I think, because you donated 100, and you can stake them. That will be around 7,000 gift tokens, and after staking them, you can boost this project, and that will help this project to get higher on the leaderboard, which will lead to more people seeing it, more visibility. Actually, they had a contest going over, where the top 25 people with the most gift boost can get a like raffle opportunity for his community to get a prize. I don't remember. I sent that the
Oh,
other day. I was in the 31 place. I needed to be in the top 25, but some of my gift boosts were denied. Like, the people decided to boost other projects. I wasn't active with that. I was doing other stuff, but yeah, it's just um,
okay.
another thing going on with Giveth.
Check it out. So I clicked on the button, and before I didn't have any give or give backs. But okay, so now it actually asked me to switch to Gnosis chain. So I'm
Yes,
on Gnosis and I'm connected to Giveth, and it looks like now I
yes.
have 1,122.44 give. So now I need to stake this, right? Or at least some of it.
It should, yeah, you have to stake it, but somewhere else you should have more.
Okay, well that's good
Like,
too, but there's also like liquidity, right? So I'll maybe stake half and then try and add some liquidity or something.
like, yeah, you have to check it out. Explore that page. It's super interesting. It's not financial advice, but I
No,
saw
no,
a
but
couple of
I
people
I've been
already.
wanting, sorry, I've been wanting to do this, and I knew that I was gonna at some point have some of this give, and then
Yeah,
I'd be able to get more give power. I hadn't checked in for a while, and so now that I have it, I'm excited to at least
yeah.
stake some, so then I can get some give power, and then I can boost.
This is not a meme token, but they are doing all these dynamics, and they are getting their that token on sets too. So I think that it can get viral, not as a meme token, but as the market have been showing, like, to um, speculate on meme projects. Maybe this tendency of the region and all this movement can get the liquidity on movement from bigger whales to this side of the internet. I don't know, just my guess.
Okay, huh? I wonder if I have give token um optimism, because there's also, so there's the give power that I just staked half, at least, I'll stake half to start, that was on Gnosis here. I'm still on the same page, but it does say let's see. It does say change to Gnosis to interact with this, or change to OP to interact with this farm. I'm going to refresh. I'm on Gnosis. I think I probably have to sign in
Yeah,
again.
and you should have another option, like a give back option. I don't know if you saw that, but in the give back option, it's like near the stake option in the above side of the web page. You might see that give back option, and
Yeah, I see
that's
give
where you
backs.
should that's where you should claim some give, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is strange. It says I have 2,351 give, but I definitely only had the 1,000 something. I'm gonna harvest. I got 7.39. What? Oh, Jesus, this is giving me all sorts of information now. I was gonna harvest, so I'll have a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, and once you stake, you can boost it, but once you stake it, you can get daily give tokens. I get a silly amount, like 0.67 give per day, but I forgot for a couple years, and it was at $10.
Nice. No, it shows me $20 worth, like, so now it's showing like 8,500 give or
8,500
something.
is like, that's like 70
$76
bucks.
worth.
Yeah,
76 bucks worth, it says. That's what I
yeah.
got. So I don't know why it was like coming up different, but this is cool. This is interesting. Now, how do I get back to the staking? Probably the farm. This is cool. This is cool. Okay,
So
so
if you
I've got
donate,
some staked.
if you donate to the Watuha community, you will get like 50% back. You have to confirm it in the same page of the Giveth project because I can remember. But if more people boost my project, you can get more back. Like you get 74% on my project because I got some support from some holders on the platform. But if you go to the Watuha community project and you see it right now, you get like 50%. But if easy boost it right now, maybe it can get more. And if
I'm gonna
somebody else
see if
boosts it
I
in the week,
have. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I have enough right now to boost it. So if I go again to boost, you don't have any give power. Stake and lock your give. I swear, I thought well, maybe I didn't harvest it, but I just did stake my give. So, but there's two. There's another one that says I got to stake more, I think.
yeah, it's maybe
Okay.
like a deep. It's like a deep rabbit hole, right? But I think it's a cool one. I have a couple of years seeing it. Musashi introduced me to this a couple of years ago, but I was, still finding my words and still finding,
Yeah, yeah.
So, but right
I
now,
mean,
uh, I think
dude,
it's also the best moment for all this like synchronicity with all these tendencies and stuff.
bro, I was able to, a couple months ago, I was able to give $100, and I was stoked to be able to do that, and help a good cause, go to a good cause. And now I have $76 of that back. And then I can stake
Oh
that
my
to get
god!
more of these tokens that have a purpose and value. And then like this is pretty damn cool. And then I can boost projects that I believe in and then give more and get more back. I see
Oh
also
my god!
there's want to stake ETH and support public goods. Join the Giveth Ethereum staking pool. Stake ETH for STP ETH, earn a passive interest, and support top give power boosted projects with part of the rewards. Let's see what that leads to. I mean,
That's
this
amazing.
is all, oh, that one timed out. Probably my internet connection.
So yeah, that's super cool. Actually, it's a great rabbit hole. I think they will have more quadratic fundings to come, not only Earth rounds, but community rounds and developer rounds. So, but if you have a project, you can start drafting the project by today, and whenever a quadratic funding comes, we can do some awareness to get you some
I
funding coming to your project too.
I still would like to. It's been just, it was hard to pull off right away. Easy money after the hack with NFT NYC and everything. It just, steam sort of fell off. But I would love to kind of reorganize that because it's always such an important topic, security. And I think it's such a great idea to do
That's
like
a great
entertaining
project.
fun events
Yeah.
around it. So maybe in the nearish future, we can write that up and be able to oh, interesting. There's like Shapeshift DAO. There's these other DAOs here that you can uh, add liquidity to maybe or harvest some. So I tried to connect to Optimism and join this other pool, which said, you're connected to the OP mainnet. So, now you are currently connected to OP mainnet. Switch to Gnosis and interact with this farm. What? It told me the exact opposite before.
Oh, there's.
Funny.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a book I already know, so it doesn't affect
Ah,
me. So if you get into that loophole, there's something I don't remember, and I just do that breaks the code, and the stuff start working again.
clearing the browser data or
No,
something. Clearing the cookies. No,
ah, try it, but there was
forget it.
something.
Forgetting the site on like disconnecting from the site
Yes, maybe that could
on
work. I
MetaMask.
think yes, I think that's the one. That one breaks
Let's
it.
see. Okay.
Yeah, so the Give people have been really active, and they have an active community and a system of praising where they give props to each other for their work they have been done. Actually, their community have been super supportive. I have been having a great experience with Ashley, that is like the steward of community, and she have been diving with me in this Watuha community project. If you read the project overall description, it's only 1,200 characters long. That's the maximum they accept. They told me that it was to encourage people to do the projects because the first projects they got, they were super little. So they did that gap. And it's not only a gap, but you need to use the 1,200 characters, all of them.
Hmm.
It's one of the gaps, so they can make people to explain it, and they take the time. There's a lot of iteration